This is the plaintiff, Ralph Morse. He says he lived in his house for 47 years and his neighbor, the defendant, has been living next to him for most of that time. They share a 100-foot common wall, and when the defendant had some work done to it on her side, she damaged his side of the wall. Before this dispute, things were mostly civil with her, but now she won't pay to have his side of the wall fixed, so it's war. He's suing for $700, the amount he's owed. This is the defendant, Betty Terrell. She says a common wall is just that. She can do whatever she wants on her side, and the plaintiff can do whatever he wants on his side. As far as there being cracks, which he says she caused, hogwash. Her house was built in 1949. There've been cracks in the wall for as long as she's lived there, and she didn't cause any of that to his side. She's accused of cracking up a neighbor. The defendant has filed a countersuit to ask the judge for an order preventing the plaintiff from doing any additional work to the wall.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff and the defendant live next door to each other, and the plaintiff says the defendant damaged this side of the wall. Now, the defendant says there have been cracks in the wall forever, and she did nothing. It's the case of neighborhood war. What is it good for?
Your Honor.
Ralph Morse, you are suing your neighbor Betty Terrell for $700 to repair cracks in your common wall, correct?
Right.
Okay,
Correct,
and you are counterclaiming for an order from me to tell him not to touch the common wall.
Not the common wall.
Keep fencing, to keep the fencing on the common wall. Interesting. Let me hear from you first. What's happening?
Okay, me and Mrs. Terrell has been living together, been next door neighbors for over 40 years.
Oh, that's so sad.
We share a common wall about 75 feet long.
Whose property is the common wall on? No one knows.
It's divided.
Oh, well, but where's the survey? Do you have a survey?
No, I don't.
Do you have a survey?
No, I don't.
Okay, all right. So we don't know whose property the common wall is. Go on.
Okay, so the common wall is only 4.5 feet high, so it doesn't give you much privacy. So back in the mid-'80s, I added a fence alongside the common wall that protects you from here up.
Okay, do you have a picture of that fence?
Yes, in the back, yes.
Okay, may I see it?
Yes. It was just like this in the front, but the termites destroyed it. So that's when I decided to replace it.
Okay, so you put up a wood planks, I guess, I don't know, wood planks. And what did you do? Attach them to the...
To steel poles.
To those steel poles?
It wasn't touching the common wall at all.
Okay. And this part's still up somewhere?
Sure, in the back, yes.
Okay, I gotcha. So now I see what you did. You used steel poles and then you put that up. Okay, and then what happened? You did that in the 80s?
So the termites destroyed the front part.
Okay.
And so about March or April, I asked a handyman if he would show me how to...
Her handyman?
Her handyman.
Okay.
If he would show me how to drill holes in the top of the common wall where I was going to add fencing like my neighbor has in the back. She's got it sitting on top of the wall.
Okay.
So when he told her what I was going to do, she came out and said that this was her wall, and she didn't want it up there for me to put that wall back just like I had, because I had tore down the termite and fenced the wall. So I installed a new fence.
And what is it you did? Show me pictures of what you did so I fully understand. Okay, so what you do is you installed a wood, like a picket fence kind of thing, right on top of the 4.5-foot wall that had been there for...
It's on poles, Your Honor. It's on poles just like in the back. It's on the same poles that were there before. Only thing I did was took the wood off and replaced the wood.
Wait, so you did do what she asked?
Yes. It's the only option I had to keep the privacy.
And then what happened?
And after completed, I went shopping one day and came back, and a handyman is in the backyard knocking the top layer of concrete off the common wall. And that's where the cracks came from.
Wait, why was your handyman knocking anything or doing anything? Isn't this exactly what you asked for?
He took down completely the wooden privacy fence on the front half of the privacy wall. And that's what I was asking him to leave up. But he said he put it up and he's taking it down, and if he has to take it down again, he will. That's
Okay.
fine. So that left everything open. So my handyman told me that he could build a fencing of stone that was similar to the...
To the wall?
Yeah, to the walls.
Just
all
more
four.
concrete block, just take it higher?
Yeah. And so that's what he did. I called the city to find out.
Why did you even need to if he put this up? Did he really put this up?
He put that up after I had put my concrete wall up.
Is that correct? Did you put this up after or
No,
before?
Before.
Okay, well, let's get to what happened. So you hire the handyman.
Yes, to put up the concrete fencing. And if you look at my picture, you can see
Can I
his
see it?
fencing behind mine,
Okay,
the gray
let's see
wall.
it.
And that is the front of the property.
Okay, so what you did
I
was you
that on
put 2 more layers of
concrete.
concrete. All right, and how did is your handyman here to testify?
No,
Do you have an affidavit from him so he can explain
No.
how it is that he did this? Were you there when he did it?
yes.
So why do neighbors get in so many neighborhood wars?
I think when you're in close quarters, there's a lot of conflict. You're around the same people all day, every day. And I think eventually it just builds up. You know, maybe a couple of days would be okay, but living years and years next to the same people, you're going to get in arguments with them.
That's a fair point. But do neighbors get petty, do you suppose?
Yeah, they definitely do get petty, but it all depends on like the relationship that they have in the neighborhood with each other.
Fair enough. Okay, going inside the courtroom.
He just brought some concrete blocks and cement, and he placed one level of blocks, cemented that, placed another level of blocks.
Did he take a sledgehammer and hit anything?
No, there was no need to.
Why are you saying he took a sledgehammer and hit stuff?
Because that's what he did, Your Honor.
Were you there when he was doing it?
I have pictures of it.
You have pictures of cracks in the wall, of a wall that has been there for how many years?
I've been there 47 years, and it was there.
And it
the wall
predates the 2 of you there.
and the wall was there then.
How do 2 people who have been neighbors did you raise kids there and stuff?
Yes.
Did you raise kids there, sir?
Yes.
Were your kids friends?
No.
Oh, all right.
They knew each other.
I mean, were you guys friendly before this, or was it always a little tense?
No, well,
It was all just high and by?
yes,
But for 50 years?
yes.
50 years of all the places on the earth, the 2 of you happen to choose the spot next to each other, and this is what it's come to, the fence war? It's so sad.
Right.
So I have a question for you, sir. Why am I to believe that the cracks that you have pointed out that you're attempting to collect $700 for are cracks that were caused by her handyman, when I see cracks on her side of the wall too, even, it's like a 50-year-old wall?
I've got pictures, Your Honor.
Of that guy with the sledgehammer? Perfect.
My wall was put in first, and then
No, I'm sorry. You have the guy with the sledgehammer? You have pictures of the guy with the sledgehammer?
Yes.
Oh, let me see.
And my wall is already up, and that's when he put the new blocks in.
I don't care who had their wall up.
All right.
Where's the sledgehammer? Where's the sledgehammer?
The sledgehammer is laying down on the ground.
What line of work are you in, or were you in?
Post office.
Okay. My entire family's in construction. Okay? I know how that's done. And I'm trying to, unless you're knocking down part of the wall, there's no reason for a sledgehammer to be used there. All right? So I'm trying to understand. And plus, it's kind of funny because you are suing for something that you say was damaged on your property without evidence that it's your property. Because neither one of you want to get a survey. You'd just rather the judge have a crystal ball to figure out what the lines are, the demarcation. So no, I'm not going to order her to pay $700 for ruining your common wall that you cannot prove is on your property. And now you have a counterclaim. What is your counterclaim about?
The plaintiff built a wall on my property.
What wall where?
The wall in the picture that I showed you that had the raised flower bed with the red bricks.
Yeah, that's this one. Come on over here so you can be able to point to it and explain it to me. Okay.
Okay. This is the wall that he built, and that is not a common wall.
Who built that wall?
He did.
What used to be here connecting these two?
My raised flower bed and my camellia.
When was this wall built?
10 years, I guess. I don't know.
10 years? How long has this been up according to you?
Between 4 years, between 2007
But you're
and
complaining
11.
about it now? Go ahead.
No.
Yeah, now,
because
you know what? Just go back go back. You can go back. That's fine. That's fine. And this is a wall that connects. part of a wall that's already there to part of a wall that's already there, but you're claiming that this entire wall, for you to be right, you would have to prove to me right now that this entire wall is on your property, because that's the only way this connection of these two walls could be on your property. So prove to me that that's your property. You have a survey?
No,
Then you also don't have an injunction, okay? That's my ruling.
Well, in this dispute between neighbors who've been neighbors for years and years and years, it's a nothing tie. Mr. Morse,
Yes.
I feel sorry for you. You live right next door to her, but the key problem here, nobody had a survey. The judge's hands were tied.
I guess so.
And you could have gotten a survey,
Just forget it. Not worth it.
Just forget it?
Not worth it.
Do you think she'll forget it?
Don't care.
You don't care? Okay. Well, Mr. Terrell, he says he really doesn't care how you feel about it now at this point. That's your problem too. Neither one of you had a survey. Did you ever think of getting one?
Yes, I did. It cost $1,000, and I decided that I'd rather put up the fence on my side than to pay $1,000 for a wall on my property.
So, what do you think's going to happen now that you two have sued each other and you're living right across from the fence from each other?
Neither one.
Nothing's going to happen? You just won't speak to each other?
We're not speaking now.
All right, so sorry about that. You must sign a few documents on your way out of the courtroom. Kind of fascinating case between neighbors, Harvey. What do you think?
Okay, the defendant is countersuing, trying to prevent work from being done in the wall. That's called an injunction, and small claims court judges, just so you know, cannot issue injunctions.